Well, do you think it's good?
I think it's great.
So many more where I lay down.
Everett had been really, really wanting to help with this process. Watch this, one-handed, I can do this.
Can I do it?
Hello friends, it is raspberry picking season here in Alaska, and we're gonna bring you along to show some of the things we do after we pick our raspberry patch. It is also blueberry huckleberry season, but because I have this raspberry patch in my yard, I tend to spend most of my time gathering raspberries, and unfortunately that's usually done in the rain. Just like today. Violet's out here with me for a little while. Hi. And so is Everett. So this is our trick for, you get a belt and then you get an ice cream bucket and you can hang it and then you can pick with two hands. Or at the fair, I found this berry gathering belt that I'm gonna try out for the first time today. Has a little lip, so if you like lean over, the berries don't come out. I'm actually gonna put a Tupperware in it just to keep it a little cleaner. So this is our berry patch. We've got hundreds of staked up berries, and we do that this way so that we can walk through easily. We tie them up every fall. We cut down the old canes. We do it this way because Mark's parents have a berry patch and it's really hard to walk through, especially with kids. So we make sure that we have good pathways so that the kids can help pick. Raspberries in Alaska are a fall crop. They do not grow all summer like they do in some places. The raspberries are ripe between end of August, mid-September until it freezes. And so we just pick just about every other day and make sure that we harvest the fruit and take care of it. We sure enjoy a good fresh raspberry. We try and be very strategic about how we pick. We go from plant to plant and pick the whole plant so that the next person that comes out, we can say, oh, we stopped on this bush, and then it's easy to pick the entire patch. We used to open this up as a U-pick farm, but we have not done that in the past couple of years. We've just invited friends over to help us pick and make jam so that we can share it with friends and family. But we did used to open it up as a U-pick, and we'd have maybe 20 to 50 people come every fall and pick, but that just doesn't work for us right now. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Paddle, paddle, paddle your boat out into the bay. Catch yourself a halibut and bring it home to fillet. Hey, Grandpa to the rescue. Violet was getting a little restless. You can go for a little walk.
Whoa.
Okay, I'm picking for 15 more minutes and then she can come, we're gonna go make dinner. Hang on. Are you on the phone?
You just take breath. Just take.
Look at my awesome berry picker.
Oh, that's awesome.
It works so good.
That does look awesome.
It's like,
good.
like you bend over, it doesn't do anything, you get down. So,
Oh, cool.
okay.
Brad was just talking to me on the phone here.
Okay, I got 5 minutes and then I'm gonna make dinner.
Okay, well, I've got some pizza in there.
Okay. I set an alarm so that I would go inside to start making dinner because you can start picking and lose track of time. Probably perfect timing though. The rain is really starting to come down and I need a sweatshirt on underneath this raincoat, but verdict on the berry picker, I filled it up. It is incredible. Like you can bend over, you can lean down, all the things you need. 2 hands during berry picking, 5 out of 5 stars review for me. Now, I love supporting local. I'm so glad I bought this. But I may have to dust off my sewing skills this winter. I haven't sewn in a long time because I think I would love to have like a family set of these. But at $65 a piece, that's a bit of a stretch. So I may have to like create my own. I don't know. We'll see because I really like it. And I would love to gift some to some people in my life that also pick a lot of berries. But round 1 berry picking done. But we got to finish picking the patch either later tonight or tomorrow. clearly you have to keep picking. It's not something you can put off for, many more days because the berries will start to rot. And you're also, all the energy is going into those berries instead of getting the next set of berries ready. So you have rotting berries and then you have ones that aren't growing. So you got to make sure that you keep up with your patch. We don't like them to go to waste. I've been coming out and getting a bowl full every day to eat with my yogurt too. So anyways, we'll bring you along a little bit later. I got to go in and make dinner. I like to have dinner ready when the boys get home from cross country running because they come home starving. So we're going to go in and get some dinner ready. And then we'll bring you back later to do some more berry content. We installed tons of hooks in our heater room. We get a lot of excess heat off of our furnace. Hunter's got his cross country running shoes in here that are all wet. I'm going to hang up my raincoat so it can dry off. Ugh. It's soaked. Ugh. I don't know that this is super waterproof anymore. I definitely need a sweatshirt on underneath it. A fleece. Whew. All right. I like to get the boys included in picking. Usually they want like, okay, how much do I have to pick? Tell them an amount and then gets them out here helping. All right, I've been putting it off all day. It is time to make some jam with those berries we picked. It's been a busy day, but it needs to get done. Into the kitchen to make our raspberry freezer jam. Get Violet settled in her high chair. We have our recipe in my recipe binder. Actually, now Violet is all settled. She needed a better toy to play with. We start out by getting out the raspberries out of the fridge. These raspberries, because they're not sprayed with anything, I find only last, 1 to 3 days in the fridge. 3 would be really pushing it. So I get out a piece of paper and I start measuring my raspberries out because I am making 5 batches of jam. It's going to take a lot of berries, and I don't know about you, but I would lose track of how many I've measured because I've got kids coming in and out of the kitchen. I'm dealing with Violet, so I make sure that I write down when I add in berries so that I can keep track and I get the right amount, because this is a pretty temperamental recipe. You have to have the right amount of berries to sugar. So I found that this helps me keep track of everything. Everett had been really wanting to help with this process, so he came in to start doing the mashing, and he did a good job. Now it is time to measure out the sugar, and I have found that it is best if I pre-measure out the sugar and keep track on my piece of paper before adding it into the berries. I don't want to put it straight into the berries and then lose track of the amount of sugar because, like I said, this is an exact science. If you don't get your sugar to berry ratio right, your jam will not set up. And of course, just like every other project, I will run out of an ingredient while I'm making it and need to refill my big container. Once I got all the sugar measured out, then I could have Everett help me add that sugar into the berry mixture since I knew it was going to be the exact amount. So yes, it's a ton of sugar, but think about how much jam you use. You're only going to use a tablespoon or so on a piece of toast. This is what our family really likes to have on hand. So this is the recipe we use, and it turns out beautifully. You want to give this a really good stir and make sure that all of the sugar dissolves into your berry mixture. It takes about 10 minutes for that to get really good and mixed in. Always multiple things going on in the kitchen at once. Violet was hungry and needed some food while we were working on this project. And I am going to start a project of freeze drying some raspberries. We love these as a snack. Freeze drying is just another great way to preserve the berries so that they don't just sit in the freezer. They can be used in lots of recipes once they are freeze dried or just eaten as a snack. So we're gonna get some of those ready to go into the freeze dryer as well. Back in the kitchen, it is time to measure out the water that we're adding to our saucepan so that we can mix up the pectin that will turn the berries and sugar into our freezer jam. You an eating machine! I bought a bunch of pectin and now I can't find it. Everett's trying to help me look.
What are these straws for?
Those are for the Stanleys with the lids. Oh, I think I know where they are now.
What?
I think I just remembered. They were in this bag that I had in the car. Da-da-da.
It's coming tomorrow. It's
Yay, pectin!
Yeah,
1,
mine
2,
shipped.
3, 4, 5.
My firewood hasn't shipped yet, though. I'm getting nervous about it.
Wait, when are you going hunting?
2 weeks.
As I open up these boxes of pectin, I'm kind of amazed. They do not have the recipe that I love in the box anymore. You used to get a recipe with each box, and I'm so thankful I kept it. Now I think they expect you to go online and find the recipe or something like that, which is kind of a pain. I would rather just have the recipe in the box. But Everett and I are getting to work opening our 5 boxes of Sure Gel pectin, getting them into our water. Then we're gonna head over to the stove to heat up our pectin. Once your pectin starts to boil, you set a timer for 1 minute. I have this little handy timer here. You cannot stop stirring during this time because it will boil over. So I took over this job. I didn't let Everett do this, but this part is critical that you wait till it's really bubbly and then you set a timer for 1 minute. Then you mix it into the sugar and fruit mixture and set a timer for 3 minutes and mix for an entire 3 minutes so that it gets all mixed in there. And then it'll be time to package it up. It is now time to add our freezer jam into different containers. We like to use whatever containers we can find at the time. I use these plastic ones as well as mason jars. At this point, you can usually tell if your jam is going to set up because it has already started turning into a gel if you did everything right. So once we fill up all the containers, we add the lids, and then they just sit out on the counter for 24 hours to set before you put them into the freezer. So we've got a huge batch of freezer jam done and ready to go. Check that off the list. All right, friends, it's the next morning. When you make freezer jam, you gotta leave it out overnight, 24 hours. It's set up beautifully. This is 5 batches of raspberry freezer jam. I think we're set for ourselves and for gifts for the next year. Because I already had made 3 other batches, so we're gonna have to do other things with the raspberries now. The raspberries went for almost 24 hours. We're gonna do no defrost. Open drain valve. Oh, make sure it's in the bucket. No defrost. I don't know if I clicked it because it was so loud. Oh, okay, I had. I'm like, what's going on? Okay, now we can open it. These were the older raspberries. They had a little bit more like syrup or juice around them. These ones were fresh picked, so they were not juicy. Ooh, they look so good. They just kind of crumble into dust. Now these could be used in oatmeal or cereal. They could be ground up and used to dye frosting, and then it would have a raspberry taste. So these would be great for macarons. So I'm excited to use them. Now, if we want to store them for like really long-term use, we would put them in Mylar bags and seal them. But today, because my kids like to eat these as snacks, and then we want to use them for baking and things, we're gonna take them and just put them in a jar. And then I have a cool new way to seal up my jars. I just leave this to defrost. Yummy, yummy. Hey Violet, you matched the raspberries. Look at that. Oh, you're gonna touch them?
Eat them? I think she could actually eat them.
It'd be a little bit dry. She could taste one. You taste it?
Yeah.
It tastes good. It tastes good.
These ones have a little bit of sugar on them. And they were a little bit more...
I think the sugar shocked her.
I didn't give her one with sugar.
Oh.
Making her drool a little bit.
That one's better.
Just the plain?
I like the plain.
These ones were fresh picked. These ones were a little bit old and juicy. And Bennett wanted a little sugar on them. Oh, they have such good flavor. All the best parts of the raspberry flavor. I love this new funnel, hon. Watch this. One-handed, I can do this.
Can I do it? I wanted some
Oh, we got some freeze-dried bugs.
bugs. Freeze-dried bugs.
Okay, these ones need the different one. These fresh picked ones, hon, are so beautiful. Come look.
Oh yeah, they really are.
They just look like
Look almost like
perfectly
Haribo,
preserved.
Raspberry gummy candy.
Oh yeah, they do look like a gimme candy.
It would taste like one.
Oh, that was silly. Okay, last one is I sprinkled a tiny bit of sugar on these ones at Bennett's request, so I'm putting them in a separate jar. So I've been looking for a way to just seal things that I buy up a little bit better to keep them better longer. And so I ordered this electric mason jar vacuum sealer. So that's what we're gonna use on these raspberries. You can do it as many times as you want.
So crisp.
You're enjoying those? Mom, make sure you have some water because they're really dry.
Can you get me some water?
Nope, you can get some water. That's out of the fridge.
30 seconds works the best.
30 seconds. Bennett has played around with it. He says 30 seconds works the best. I haven't got to use it yet. Regular mouth, that's what we got. Nope, this is wide mouth, maybe.
Spin it off.
So you spin it, you said? Like that? Wide, oh, and then you just put on the different one, okay. So then we got just wide mouth.
Shove it on.
Okay, shove it on. And there's a button on top, and then we push it. Do I hold it? No?
It's dead, I bet.
But lit up something.
It said 29. It said 20.
Oh, there we go. I think I held it down too long. So it's removing the air from here.
Don't try 30, try like 15.
That's 15.
So try 20.
Do you have to turn it off?
Yeah.
How long does it go for if you don't stop it?
I don't know.
Oh. All right.
There's no air in there anymore?
I don't know. There has to be, like, they can still move because it's not like a bag where it can suck it out.
Don't do it yet. I want to eat these. I want to eat them all.
Everett's enjoying them too much. He said, don't do it yet, don't do it
They
yet.
don't have sugar on them. Are you gonna charge it?
I actually just want to see what happens if you just put it on.
You put it on.
I did. I don't know how long it would go for if we don't stop it. It's at a minute. So we're gonna go. Wait, okay, 57% charged. All right, and then if you need a smaller mouth jar, you just.
We could do the Kylie Jenner challenge.
All right, so far so good with this. Bennett's used it a few times, now I got to use it. And we got a few jars of freeze-dried raspberries. Yum, yum.
Thank you, Everett.
We've got 2 more things of raspberries that we picked today. I'm gonna talk about some of the ways I like to freeze them. Now, if you just wanna be able to use them later to make jams, pies, things like that, where you just are okay with a big blob of berries when you defrost them, you can just put them straight in a Ziploc bag and freeze them. When you wanna be able to use them for things like smoothies and you want them to be individual berries, you need to flash freeze them in your freezer. I'm actually gonna use my freezer trays just because they're a good size for putting in the freezer, but I'm not gonna use my freeze dryer this time. So we're just gonna put a layer of berries on each tray and freeze them for 24 hours and then put them into bags. That way you'll have individual berries instead of a big clump. And you may hear the mixer going on in the background. Bennett is trying his first batch of macarons, raspberry flavored, using the freeze-dried raspberries we already made. It is still a mystery who sent us this macaron book, but whoever did, thank you. I got some almond flour and he's trying it out. He's got a meringue. How many drops does it say? Probably one's good. When we turn it on, you gonna do it? You need to lock it in. Oh yeah. I got these little risers from freezedrysupply.com. I think that's what it's called, freezedryingsupplies.com. Yep, they make it so we can stack these. Want to help me, Everett? Put them on the corners.
So they just snap on them?
They just snap on. These look good, Bennett. Especially for our first try. They taste good? They got the foot on them. Can I try one?
Yeah.
I just brushed my teeth, but I really want to. It's amazing.
Wow, that's
Really good.
The creaminess of the butter.
That's my favorite part, having that. Yeah.
Oh, I cracked it.
Okay.
30 feet of it.
Very good, Bennett.
All right, friends, now that these are flash frozen for 24 hours, we can put them into bags. And then when we want to make smoothies and things, we can just get them out individually. They will not freeze into one big clump. Let's get them into bags. Do you need all these fancy things? No. Do they make things easier if you're doing lots of things where you're freezing stuff? Yes. So I'm gonna use my funnel, my bag holder. Let's get some berries put away. These would also be great right now, frozen like this, to dip in like white chocolate and then dark chocolate, and then that would be kind of like the ones I bought at the store, the True Fru. You do need to get these put right into the freezer if they start to thaw, and when they refreeze, they will turn into a big clump. So don't leave them out. I bagged up the first 3 trays and decided the 4th one I am gonna quickly see if I can make some little chocolate covered raspberries. I don't have white chocolate. I'm just gonna use chocolate with some coconut oil, and that'll hopefully work. I don't know. No research done. I'm just experimenting. Into the microwave for 30-second intervals. Oh, this didn't work. It like, yeah, I needed to do it a different way. Well, let's see. It's freezing into like one giant raspberry clump. Definitely have to do them one at a time if you don't want them to all stick together. Very yummy though. Fun, but I think I'm gonna leave the chocolate making to the experts. Stick these back in the freezer before I package them up just so they get a little bit harder. I have to say, these are delicious. I would just need to be not in such a hurry and just pull a few out of the freezer at a time and dip them one at a time. Or you get like a big chunk like this. Here's a single one. Good, huh?
We don't have white chocolate.
Nope, we don't have any white chocolate. Like them? Mm-hmm. Well, something we'll have to play around with, but they are delicious.
I want some.
Just have one. I need to get them in the freezer so they don't all stick together. So when berry season is in full swing, we pick the patch about every 2 days, which means we just end up with a lot of berries. We invite friends over to pick, but we still end up with just a lot of berries. So I just figured I'd show some of the ways we like to store berries. If you have a surplus of something, it's good to just kind of give yourself different options instead of just doing it all one way. So last way here, these are just fresh picked berries. I'm gonna put them in a bag and we'll freeze them in a big bag, and then when we want to use them for a pie later this year or for anything, any dessert, but they can just be in a big clump. This is how we freeze them. No flash freezing. Put them straight into a bag. And of course we eat a ton of them fresh in the fall, but I don't know, something about berries from the patch, I don't know how they keep them so nice from the store, because these berries last about 2 days in the fridge before they start going bad. The only thing we add to our raspberry patch is some fertilizer every couple years, so there's nothing on these berries. They just don't last very long, so you gotta get creative on how you store them, because you can't eat that many berries. We try and eat as many as we can fresh, but you just can't eat that many. Right, off into the freezer these go. A few other things we like to do with raspberries, I'll put them in the juicer, which is just steams them and then you get the juice out. We make raspberry syrup. We love to make raspberry fruit leather with applesauce and raspberries. The possibilities are endless, but right now we just get them into the freezer and then we can pull them out later and do all of those things. These will probably become fruit leather later in their life because I'm just too busy at the moment to do all the different recipes, but so fun. Thank you so much for spending time with us in the raspberry patch and preserving some of our harvest from this year. We are so grateful for each and every one of you that spends time with us, and we'll see you again real soon for more of This Alaska Life.